What's up, everyone? Welcome to the quick review of the Abyss JOAL headphone. Starting off, I just want to say that these are my own personal pair of headphones. These were not sent to me for review, and I am not sponsored in any way. Inside the included accessories box here, you'll see the included cable. This is a 4.4mm balanced cable, and then depending how you opt for it, you could get one or all three of the adapters. Each adapter adds $50 to the price, so getting all three adapters will add $150 onto the price of the headphones. The headphones retail for $18.95. For that price, you're getting the nice included cable, which is really soft and feels really high quality, but that does not include any of the adapters, which, like I said earlier, are additional $50 each. You're also getting this nice carrying case. This is a really nice case if you want to take the headphones from place to place, or even just move it around your house and not have to worry about damaging them. Feels really high quality. It's hard on the outside, and the inside is a nice, like, felt type of feel. Taking them out of the case, the first thing you notice is just how well made these feel and how solid they feel in the hand. It's very lightweight, but they almost feel like an Apple product with just the way that they're milled and the way that they're designed and the feel that you get in the hands with them. And you could tell that Abyss feels really confident about the build quality on these because they're offering them with a 10-year warranty. They say that this is industry leading, but it's not quite industry leading because ZMF has a lifetime warranty, at least on their drivers. So while it's not quite industry leading, it's still really good, and it's much better than other competitors like Meze and Hi-Fi-Man that have products at a similar price to this that only have a 1 to 2 year warranty. These are also the most comfortable headphones that I have worn, period. The clamp force is perfect. It's not like a HD6XX where you feel like it's squeezing your head. On top of that, not only is the clamp force perfect, but the pads feel like pillows. They're extremely soft and comfortable. The suspension head strap distributes the weight pretty much perfectly across your head. And not only that, but they're lightweight. If you're looking for a headphone that you want to use for hours at a time, whether it's in like a work from home scenario, for gaming, anything like that, I think these are the perfect headphone. They are extremely comfortable, and having the pad so soft also makes up for the lack of cup swivel, which I thought was going to be an issue at first, but turns out to be a non-issue. These are my go-to headphones if I want to just put it on my head and forget that they're there. Now, a negative to this headphone is the price of replacement pads. Abyss charges $295 for replacement pads. I think that is just too much money. If you plan on pad rolling, I think it's just too expensive to buy pads to pad roll with these for $295 for one other set. It's too much money. And the thing is, pads are consumable parts. At some point of owning these headphones, if you own them for long enough, you'll probably have to replace the pads. Pads wear out from using them. These are no exception. They're very well made pads. They are very comfortable pads, but pads wear out from use. So you have to factor that into the cost of ownership with these. I hope that's something that they could bring the price down on in the future. Now, I'm going to put up a post that Abyss has put on HeadFi, which explains why they're saying that it costs so much. And I get it. It has additional manufacturing costs due to the magnetic system and the engineering that goes into that. But still, I hope that they could figure out a way to bring that price down. With that said, it's really easy to swap the pads. It's magnetic. You pop them on and off. It takes a second or two. Works really well. But another company like ZMF, even though it might take another minute or two to swap the pads, they're only $79. So I would much prefer a system where it takes another minute or two and I could own more pads and experiment with them than a system like this where, while really well designed, is so expensive. Moving on to the sound, when I first heard the name JOAL, which stands for Jack of All Listening, I thought it was kind of corny, didn't really like the name. But after I spent some time listening to these headphones, I think that the name is actually really fitting for the type of tuning that this headphone has. I'm not really a fan of overly bright headphones or overly detailed headphones, so for this reason in the past, I haven't really been much of a fan of planar magnetic headphones in general, because most of them that I've tried, except for maybe the ZMF Caldera, they've all just been a little bit too much with the information and the brightness, and especially the brightness. They all leave me with that ringing in my ear type of feeling after not listening to them for too long of time. But that's not the JOAL. I would say the overall tuning of the JOAL is neutral, maybe leaning slightly warm. They can sound wide at times and intimate at other times, which is an interesting trait that it has. They never really sound overly wide though, like something like an HD 800S or certain hi-fi mens can do. Vocals in general are present, clear, and they are a bit forward in the mix. They're never lost in the mix, and they all have a nice weight and never really feel thin. Not quite on ZMF level weight, but still there's a nice weight there, and they present vocals very, very nicely. As far as detail goes, these are detailed headphones. The detail retrieval is really good, but they're not overbearing like sometimes a hi-fi man could be. And even then, I think some headphones that people say are extremely detailed headphones, they just have everything very forward. You could hear detail in these headphones, and it's not like you're drinking out of a fire hose or getting punched in the face with sounds. Everything seems presented really nicely, and I think that fits its name, JOAL, because when you have those super detailed headphones, some tracks could be too much. It could just be overbearing. It could give you a headache. It could make your ears ring. I don't get that experience with the JOAL at all. I like the way that it's presented. But if you're after the most detailed headphone that you could possibly find, then look at Hi-Fi Man. I don't think anybody else is doing as detailed headphones as them right now. As far as the bass goes, it could dig fairly deep before rolling off, and it has that fast planar bass that comes in and out really quick, but it doesn't dig as deep or hit as hard as something like the ZMF Atrium Closed, or even some Odyssey LCD headphones that have that head punch feeling you could get from them. This doesn't quite have that. It has a smaller driver than the Odysseys have, but still, I think the bass is satisfying for most people, and if you EQ them, which they seem to take EQ pretty well, you could get a pretty satisfying amount of bass, but I would not call these bass cannons. These are also amazing gaming headphones. I normally wouldn't recommend headphones at this price for gaming, but if you're looking to buy them for music anyway and you want to kind of have a dual use headphone, these are amazing gaming headphones because of the comfort, like I spoke about earlier, but also just the way that they image and the way sounds present themselves is perfect. They're not overly wide like some headphones could be, but they're just the right amount of wide where you could place objects in space, and it's really the perfect gaming headphone. I don't know how they could possibly be improved for gaming, so if that's a priority for you, that's something to think about. As far as pairing these with an amplifier, they use a decent amount of juice. I have to turn the volume higher on these than I do on the Sennheiser HD6XX, and also more so than the ZMF Atrium Closed. With that said, they are relatively easy to drive. I think if you have any standard high quality desktop amplifier, they will drive these fine. I use them on the JDS Labs Element 4. I've used them on the Shit Valley 3, and I've used them on the Shit Asgard 3 as well. I didn't notice a significant difference between the three of those amps. They all sounded great. So if you have a good high quality amplifier, I wouldn't worry too much about the pairing with these. Will they scale up if you use them with a much higher priced amplifier? I think they probably would. I don't have any on hand to test with, but out of those three amplifiers, which all fall under $500-ish, they all sounded fantastic, and there wasn't a major difference between the three, and I'd be more than happy with pairing these with any of those three options. In conclusion, this is a new market for Abyss. They're entering a price category where they have significant competition, but I think what sets JOAL apart from the rest is its comfort, the tuning, warranty, and the build. With the other brands, you may get a couple of those things, but JOAL is really the whole package. So in all, what you're getting with JOAL is a headphone that has class-leading comfort, an easy and an enjoyable tuning, and a design and build that I think Apple engineers would be happy to produce. Thank you for taking the time to watch my review. If you liked the video, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I have a few more headphones I'd like to make reviews of in the future, and the support is really appreciated. Thank you.